Breathless. Forbidden, Book 2. Written by Susanna Thompson. Narrated by Lauren Sweet. Chapter 6. I waited for Logan's advice after confessing my one-night stand with Cade to him. I hadn't told Morgan because I already knew what her advice would be. She would want me to get back together with Cade and forget about how he had dumped me the first time we were together. Logan was staring off into space, seemingly lost in thought. His roommate had already left for the party that Logan and I were also planning to go to. His smirk when I said that I needed to talk to Logan first made it obvious that he thought we were staying behind to have sex. Hardly anyone could believe that Logan and I were just friends. "Are you sure that it's just physical?" he asked me as his gaze refocused on me. "Well, yeah," I replied. "That's all we did. It's not like we've been dating and falling in love." "But you were before," he said. "Did you fall in love with him then?" "We went on one date," I protested. "That didn't give us much time to fall in love. Besides, it was mostly physical back then, too." "You said mostly," Logan stressed. "That doesn't mean only. So you had feelings for him." I remembered discovering a softer, more emotional side of Cade and being touched by it. "I liked him," I admitted. "But he destroyed that." "Did he?" he questioned in a rhetorical tone. "I wonder." "What's that supposed to mean?" I demanded. "Do you think I slept with him because I have feelings for him?" "When have you ever hooked up with a guy just for sex?" he retorted. "Have you not been attracted to any other guys? Was Cade the only one who could ease your sexual frustration?" "I explained to you that I wanted to get him out of my system," I exclaimed in consternation. "We were interrupted the last time, and it's been hanging between us ever since. I just wanted to get rid of it." "But you haven't," he stated. "It's so powerful that it never goes away. You always want more." His expression was distant again, and I understood that he wasn't just talking about my situation with Cade. "Is that how it is with you and Julia?" I questioned quietly. "Yes," he answered after a pause. "She's never out of my system, and it doesn't sound like Cade is out of yours." "No," I agreed glumly. "It didn't work. It's actually kind of made things worse," I admitted in shame, my face heating up in embarrassment as I remembered how my body had reacted to Cade in the pool. "What should I do now?" I asked agitatedly. Logan sighed. "What you should do is probably not what you will do. That's why my only advice is to make sure you use protection. The last thing you need is to get pregnant when you're so unsure of your relationship." "I am not going to sleep with him again," I insisted in near outrage. "Right," Logan commented with dry amusement. "I'm not," I repeated defiantly and crossed my arms in a huff. "Okay," he said, obviously still not convinced. "Are you ready to go?" I stood up and stalked toward the door. "Yep, maybe I'll find some hot new guy at this party." "As long as it's not Miles," Logan remarked in that same dry tone. "I'd rather not hear you moaning his name." I turned to look at him in shock, my annoyance forgotten. "He's done that while you're here?" "Sure," he replied like it was no big deal. "At least we have separate rooms now. It was really distracting when we shared a dorm." My eyes widened to the size of saucers. "He did that with you in the same room?" "It's college," he answered with a shrug. I was doubly aware now of how lucky I was to have Katie as my roommate. "I can't believe girls would—" I trailed off and shook my head. "I would never do that with someone else in the room." "People lose their inhibitions when they're drunk," he stated. I glanced sharply at him. "Have you done that?" "Yes," he answered without embarrassment. My mouth dropped open as I stared at him. The lights were off, he said defensively. He couldn't see us. It wasn't Julia, he quickly added. That brought up a subject that troubled me. It was that girl you hooked up with last year? But wait, Miles said that he left the room to give you privacy, I said suspiciously as I recalled my conversation with him on the phone. He did that time, Logan confirmed. There were more times? I asked in dismay. A few, he replied. But, I continued hesitantly. How, I mean, if Julia is special to you, then how can you be with anyone else? Julia refuses to be tied down. She sees other people too, he explained. As for being with someone else, some things are just physical. Right, I said disapprovingly. Logan responded with a wry smile, and I stiffened my spine. Yes, just physical, like me and Cade, I declared. Just physical sex. He was laughing at me now. What other kind of sex is there? Shut up, I muttered. There's phone sex, he acknowledged. I rolled my eyes at that, since I considered it pathetic, but I got an erotic jolt when I received a dirty text message from Cade later that evening. I want to take off your panties and make you come on my tongue. Heat flooded my body as I remembered him doing that last night. That was something that I had never experienced before, and the desire to experience it again was suddenly overwhelming. I knew that I should ignore his text and possibly even block his number. Instead, I responded with a text that would surely encourage him. I'm not wearing panties. It was a lie, because I had underwear on under my dress. Kay didn't know that, though. I'm coming over. I suddenly wished that I was there, even as I told myself that it was good I wasn't. I'm at a party. Where? I'll come get you. I stared at his text as I tried to fight temptation and failed. I'll drive back, but Katie is there. I'll wait for you outside. We'll go somewhere else. I sent him a one-word reply. Okay. Logan wasn't fooled when I said that I was tired and going back to my dorm, but he didn't call me out on it. There were several girls flirting with him, and I wondered if he would hook up with one of them tonight. I was too preoccupied with my own impending hookup to dwell on it, and I made a stop in the bathroom to remove my panties before I left. My dress was long enough that I was in no danger of flashing anyone, but it still felt sinfully naughty to be walking around without underwear. It was another thing I had never done before, and the anticipation of meeting Cade this way heightened my arousal as I drove back to our dorm. He was waiting for me in the parking lot, and he got into the passenger seat after I parked the car. My roommate's home too, he told me. I got us a room at the Hyatt. I reached forward to restart the car, but he stopped me. Wait. Put your hands on the wheel. Why? I questioned, impatient to get to the hotel and be alone with him. Because I want to feel how wet you are for me, and I don't want you to crash the car. At his words, even more moisture pooled between my legs. I glanced around and saw no one else in our vicinity, so I made a move to pull my dress up for him. No, he said. I want to do that. Put your hands on the wheel. I obeyed in anticipation of feeling him touch me, but he paused to give me another command. Keep your hands there until I tell you that you can move them. I should have bristled at him ordering me to do anything, but it excited me in this situation. He slowly lifted my dress and sucked in a breath when I was exposed to him. Did you go out like that? He questioned in a rough tone. No, I admitted. I took them off before I came to meet you. Where are they? He demanded. In my purse, I replied, and spread my legs in invitation to him. He reached into the back seat where he had placed my purse before sitting down in the passenger seat. When he unzipped it and pulled out my panties, he gave me a sexy smile. "You took them off for me?" "Yes. Now touch me." He ran his hand slowly up my thigh and stopped right before he got to the juncture between my legs. "Are you wet for me?" "Cade," I growled and shifted toward his hand, but he removed it. "Stay still," he ordered. "Stop teasing me," I protested. "You told me not to touch you again," he retorted. I gritted my teeth, but my pride was long gone at this point. "I changed my mind. Touch me," I urged. He surprised me by immediately placing his hand between my legs. "So wet," he said, as I gasped at the sudden contact. "Were you thinking about me?" "Yes," I moaned, as he began to rub at that special spot. "Were you wet for me at the pool?" he asked. "Yes," I admitted. "Have you been thinking about me all day?" "Yes," I answered breathlessly as I quickly approached climax. He thwarted me by removing his hand before I could reach orgasm. "Good. I've been thinking about you all day, too. Let's get to the hotel." "Cade," I pleaded, and grabbed his arm in an attempt to return his hand where I wanted it. "I told you to keep your hands on the wheel," he said. "You're driving, and I'll give you directions." "Fine," I retorted as I let go of him and dropped my hand into my lap. "I don't need you." He firmly placed his hand over mine to still it. "Well, I would normally love to watch you touch yourself. I will leave this car if you do that. I want to make you come all night long, but I'll leave you on your own if you'd rather do it yourself." I glared at him, but I moved my hand back up to the wheel. Cade pulled my dress back down and turned the key in the ignition. "You can take your hand off the wheel to shift, but keep it there the rest of the time," he told me. "I'm surprised you didn't bring handcuffs," I grumbled. "I'll buy a pair if that's one of your fantasies," he replied as I pulled out of the parking lot. "It's not," I stated quickly. "You can use them on me," he offered. I glanced at him in surprise. "That's one of your fantasies? It seems like you like to be in control. Keep your hands on the wheel," I imitated him. "Turn right at that light," he directed. "I have a lot of fantasies about you, Lexie. Today, I'm in charge, and I know that's turning you on, or you wouldn't have gone along with it. But I sure wouldn't mind being naked and at your mercy another day." "Maybe I'll tease you like you're teasing me," I told him. "I'm not teasing you the way I want to because I'm afraid you'll get into an accident. Otherwise, I'd be touching you right now while you're driving. You'd have to keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road, with my hand between your legs the whole time. Does that turn you on, Lexie?" he asked as he placed his hand on my thigh. My hands clenched the steering wheel. "Yes." "We'll do that one day on some deserted road. I'll keep teasing you until you're begging me to make you come. Delaying orgasm makes it more intense." "How do you know that?" I asked. "I've been researching sex while I've been waiting to be with you. Turn left at the next light." "Have you really been waiting for me?" I questioned uncertainly. "Yes, Lexie. I've been waiting for you, and it was worth it. Will you please be my girlfriend?" I hesitated, feeling torn between wanting to be with him and my doubts about whether I could trust him. "Please, Lexie. Do you want to make me beg? Because I will." "Like I begged you to make me come?" I joked. "Oh, you haven't even started to beg for that yet," he assured me in a sexually confident tone that gave me a delicious chill. "If you can really make me beg for it," I challenged him with sudden wickedness, "then I'll be your girlfriend." "Oh, Lexie, He chided me darkly. You're mine now.